What's going on, YouTube and fellow raiders? I am Heavy Arms and welcome to another one of my videos. Super excited to be making this video for everyone today. My channel kind of picked up a little, at least in my eyes, over the past few videos, which has been really exciting for me. I do like interacting with you guys, getting the feedback, responding to your comments. Uh, so yeah, I'm super excited about bringing this one today. It will be a little bit longer. So if you just want to get to the meat and potatoes of like the clan boss, the optimization, especially like the ones I had touched up on in previous videos, I'll have timestamps below. So you could just jump to that. Other than that, I will be talking a little bit about myself, my channel, my account as a whole, give you guys a little insight as to where I'm at, what I'm doing, behind the scenes thought process, etc., etc. Uh, so I had originally planned to release this video last week. I personally set a goal of doing one video a week. A couple things happened. One, want to let you guys know I do have a full-time job, right? I run a moving business. It takes up a lot of my time. It is very hard work. I'm usually up, super early in the morning, like 5 to 6 a.m., not home till, 9, 10 p.m., sometimes even later, depending on the days and weeks. So that does take a big chunk of my time, and it is a full-time job. On top of that, I do have a little kid. He's almost 2 years old. So a lot of time goes to him as well. And of course, I live in Florida, and we were just hit by a pretty major hurricane. Luckily, nothing really happened. No real damage or anything like that. But we did have to evacuate, so I wasn't really home to edit and make these videos and release them at the time that I wanted to, which was last week. That being said, let's go ahead and dive into the account. So as you can see here, it is day 145 for me. Again, had some comments. People don't believe I'm completely free to play and I'm new to the game, but I am. Like, I don't know how to really prove it, but this is my main account. I referred myself and made separate accounts. Here's the blue stacks for my alternate accounts. These two got banned by Google Play for some reason. They're only level 10. This one's still active. It's like level 30 or something. I made them during the Newt fusion to get myself one of the characters that they give you, like the champion summon, and I used that to get points pretty much. It was like 250 points, and the champion's pretty good. I do use her in some of my content. So that's that. I don't know how I could prove to you that I really am new to raid. This is my main account. I've been playing for almost 5 months now. All the information that I do have is from just research, right? Like, I do my homework. I watch other people. I watch Hell Hades. I watch Ash. You know, follow these big YouTubers who have been playing the game for a lot longer than me, and I see what they have to say, and I read, different content, different strategies, different opinions from different players, and apply it myself. I try to learn from that. The people who know more than me, and show you guys that as a new player, you can be doing these fusions. You can be doing the summons and the fragments or whatever it is. With what the game provides. Like I said, the only thing I have purchased in this game was when I first started playing. I bought the $3 pack, right? It had an ancient. Let me see if I could pull it up for you guys right here. Yeah, no, not even this one. This one's like double, right? It's the same price, but you get 2 shards, 2 chickens, but like half of what this is giving you for $3 is the one thing I purchased when I started playing. And the only reason I purchased it is because I needed the energy. I wanted to keep playing. I was, retarded. I used up energy as I got it. I didn't know the trick about letting it sit in your mail, and level up so that way your energy pool is bigger. And when you have a bigger energy pool, you go ahead and open them from your mailbox. I didn't do all that. I was just burning through my energy and I wanted to keep playing, and they got me. So I paid $3 and that's it. Ever since then, I have not spent a dime on this account at all. and this is where I'm at. So I will go ahead and show you guys my account, my roster. I'll show you my Great Hall. I'll go through all of that. And like I said, if you want to jump ahead, not listen to me ramble about myself and the account, I'll have timestamps for the actual compositions, speed tunes, and things of that nature regarding the teams that I made in my previous videos. As well, I do have a special team for you guys. I didn't make it, someone else did. I'll give him complete credit for it, but it is kind of like the one and done. But we'll get into that later. So I guess to start things off, Great Hall. Show you my Great Hall. Nothing fancy, barely anything. You know, I'm kind of stuck on an Arbiter mission trying to get this to level 7. As soon as I get to Gold 1, I get kicked out, right? Like, I'll get to Gold 1, I won't play for some time, like an hour or so, and by the time I'm back, I'm already kicked out of Gold 1. Nothing fancy. No area bonuses. I don't even touch live arena. Every time I try to do live arena, I don't know if it's the connection with the server or what, but it's just like I can't do live arena. It has been horrible and an absolute terrible experience. I don't touch live arena. I just do pretty much the dailies for the regular arena, classic arena, and tag arena. Like, I don't even push the tag team arena. As you can see here, I'm bronze 2. I don't really push it, and it's kind of a little bit ridiculous. Some of the teams in here, well, obviously not on this list, but like, you know, at bronze 2, you'll see people with like 500,000 team power, and my team power is at like 200,000, right? I know that doesn't mean much, but I haven't really been able to progress. You know, I would like to get into silver 3 or silver just so I could start buying these accessories and get refresh gear, but I don't even have that, right? For clan boss, I am at the point where I haven't really done anything recently. I haven't played the game over the past couple days due to the hurricane, but in Ultra Nightmare, I'm 2 keying it. Nightmare, I am 1 keying it. And if I get the 4th key for the day, if I'm available, I'll put it into Brutal and get it 1 key. Again, we'll get into the team compositions in a little bit. I'll show you exactly how my roster looks like and how I have them set up. Hydra, again, not really touching it. I did it this week and past week where I got the novice chest on easy, and that's about it. I don't feel that my roster and gear is there. It's probably starting to be if I revisit it, and that's kind of what I guess is the next step for me. Moving along, let's look into Doom Tower. Haven't touched hard mode at all. I've never done hard tower, so you know, normally this is the source of your void and sacred shards for fusion events. I haven't been getting it from this. I've just been getting the Nightmare Clan boss sacred shard, if I get them, obviously, and the void shards that I get from that. And last rotation was the first time I cleared normal Doom Tower. So I cleared it all the way in the last rotation. This rotation, again, haven't really been playing past few days, but I'm kind of stuck right here on Bommel. This is stage, what, 50. So I'd have to revisit my characters, maybe tweak them out a little bit, check out their gear. What I did, believe it was last week, we had the artifact event. So I took full advantage of that, stripped all my characters of their gear. Some people had just old gear that, you know, I knew I was going to replace with like 3-star gear. I'm at the point where 4-star, 5-star, and 6-star gear is way better. So I stripped them all of their gear, and I focused on building my clan boss. That was the biggest progress for my account. So I took all the gear off all my characters and made sure the characters on my roster for clan boss had their gear squared away. And ever since then, I really didn't touch any other characters. So I have all my gear just sitting in my inventory, and it's kind of, you know, in the air of who I'm going to build and how I'm going to build them based on what I need. Faction Wars, you could see here like the total stars I have in each one. Nothing fancy, you know. In most of these, I haven't even gotten to, you know, the second boss, this stage 14 boss. Probably can at this point, now that my roster is growing, now that I'm actually getting, characters for these different factions. It's just a matter of going through, putting them in the right gear, and getting like a good group in each of these. But if you want to take a closer look, 22 stars in Lizardman, 29 Knights Revenant, 24 Skinwalker, 23 Undead Horde. Nothing super fancy. I haven't cleared a single one. I don't think I've gotten to the second boss in a single one. Where's my best one? So Sylvan Watchers is my best one because Emic, he carries my account and my team, to be honest, him and Newt. So I think that's the only reason why that one's so high. And Barbarian's kind of high too. But that's it. Like nothing fancy at all. Oh, and I have 33 here because of Artek. It carries the orcs. Total, what? 371 stars. So by all means, not very progressed. This is definitely like a long-term goal, I guess, or a long-term prog for my account. It's also not something I'm super focusing on. Just log in, do my dailies, collect my resources from that, use those resources to pretty much complete other events, right? So you take the material, perception gear is super useful, so I use it for the perception gear. If I'm not using that particular piece, or if it's a bad piece, it's generating money for me for an artifact enhancement event. And I'll show you guys a little trick for the artifact enhancement event. I guess I'll show you that real quick right now. Here we go. So I know a lot of people say don't just get rid of your artifacts, right? The thing is, if you hold on to your artifacts during and wait till artifact enhancement events, that's when I choose to sell my artifacts. Obviously, I have the capacity for it and I can do that. I get not a lot of people can do that, but if you can, hold on to them to the artifact enhancement events, and what you do is you go through, and I know this is kind of tedious, but it's free points, right? Absolutely free points towards your artifact enhancement events. You take all the pieces of gear you want to sell that you don't need, upgrade them to level 4 before you sell them. That gets you a few points, depending on their rank, 1 to 3 points, and you still make profit, right? It costs a little bit of silver to upgrade them, but when you sell them, you will sell them for more than what you put in, and you would have gotten a free point, or 3, depending on their 4-star, 5-star, or 6-star. So that's what I do with my artifacts. That's why you kind of just see them sitting here like lobies. I'm going to upgrade this to level 4 during artifact enhancement events that I need, or I'll just get rid of it. If I start running out of space, I'll get rid of the lower rank ones first and keep like the 4, 5, and 6 stars for the event, and upgrade them, then upgrade them to level 4 if I don't want them, roll them up higher if they have good stats. And if not, sell them after rolling them up. It gets me free points. It gets me profit. I use that profit to get whatever points I need left in the artifact enhancement event. Moving along, what else do I got to show you? Dungeons. Iron Twins, don't even touch it. I am slacking on Iron Twins, right? This is not something I grind out. Probably can start progressing in it. Haven't really done it. The magic keeps, or not the magic keeps, but the potion keeps, I think I've gotten them all to rank 20. Newt and Emic are an amazing duo. They just destroy. They're carrying my account. So I got to the point where all of these are completely maxed out. I can't show you the ones that are closed, but I've gotten to level 20 in all of my potion keeps. Minotaur, Newt solos it at stage 15, so he's my carrier. Ice Golem, I'm at stage 21. Spider, I'm in hard. Spider's my best progressed dungeon. So I'm currently progging stage 7 hard mode. It's my only hard mode dungeon that I have access to currently. Dragon, oh, never mind, I lied. I am in stage 1. Haven't beat it, but I'm on stage 1 in hard mode in Dragon. Fire Knight, stage 22. Ironically, this is like Newt's specialty, but I need more than just Snoot, right? Emic doesn't really help me in this one. He doesn't have a multi-hitter. I have Ronda as a multi-hitter. I have Cold Heart as a multi-hitter. Not the best for my account, but still progging on this. I guess the key thing to take away is I am getting to stage 20 in the 4 main dungeons here, right? Which does help the fusion events a lot. It's definitely your biggest time saver. If you're doing stage 16, almost just as good. It takes a little bit more time. The stage 20 is definitely like where you want to be and where you want to put your effort in. And you don't need much. You just need like a couple good characters to really carry your account. Sand Devil Necropolis, barely touched this. My account is not at the point where I need to be farming this and enhancing my gear. Like, I have bigger upgrades and actually getting better pieces of gear than ascending my gear. So this is totally not a priority for me at all. I do it when I have to, especially for dailies, for events, whatever. But that's it. As you can see, stage 8, haven't really gone further. Don't really put much time into it day to day. Phantom Shogun, again, never touch this, right? Like, you're talking about, I'm at the point where artifacts are still being upgraded. Like, accessories, I don't even have accessories for all the champions or all the different factions. So to be worried about ascending an accessory, it's like, it's not a priority. It is an upgrade, right? Like, if you got your good character and the best possible gear you could have them in, and the only way to upgrade them is to ascend the gear, then by all means, put a little effort and time into this and ascend those pieces, and take a gamble if you're going to roll the stat that you want. To me, it's not important. It's not what my account needs attention on at all right now. It's going to be something, down the line as I progress, as I build my rosters, and solidify, I guess, like my artifact collection. That's when I'll be jumping more into this and spending more time and energy into these 2 zones instead of these. Right now, I'd rather put my energy into stage 20 plus of the main dungeons and get better gear, because I'm, not all my characters are in 6-star gear. It's not all legendary gear, nothing like that at all. So that's where my energy goes, if anywhere. Campaign, not super important. I don't even progress in Nightmare, right? Like, I just cleared Brutal for, food farming, essentially, to do 12-3 and 12-6 food farming. Nightmare, haven't touched it. There's free shards eventually when I need them one day. I probably can clear this out now. Haven't really gotten to it. Hasn't really been an issue. What else do I show you guys? Faction Guardians. Don't have this set up at all. I did at one point when I had a bunch of like rares, and it was just taking up too much space, like to manage all these champions. I was running out of space to store my champions. And if you think about it, most of the, faction guardians that I had were rares, but my teams are all like epics or legendaries, right? I rarely have a rare in my team. For example, War Maiden, really good rare. She's in quite a few of my teams, but it wasn't like as big of an impact on my account. It was better for my account to use these dupes that would have otherwise gone here as food to get more 6-stars. So let me show you guys real quick my champion roster. I'll go ahead and show you Master Vault, Reserve Vault. So we'll go through it slowly. I won't go through every character, just pulled out Sun Wukong a couple days ago. Oella was pulled during the last event. Very cool champion. Helped me a lot. My most recent 6-star Inari, pulled him also during the last event, during one of the summoning events. He's been really cool, helped me a lot in PvP. So I just got him to level 60. I needed a level 60 Force champion. As you can see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 6-stars, 5 months into the game. So about 2 6-star champions a month is what I've been averaging, right? I do have a bunch of 5-star. I try to prioritize getting 5-stars that are useful but don't need to be 6-stars, right? So like healers, support champions, debuffers, People that I don't really need them for their strength, more for their abilities, I'll get them to 5-star. Because if you think about it, if you're making these characters 5-star, that's a 5-star you could be using as a chicken otherwise, right? So if I didn't make these, I'd have more 6-stars, but these do kind of help. And also, I made mistakes, you know, when I first started. Like, for example, Mordecai, great champion, but I haven't really used him. So I got him to 5-star, and it was a waste of my resources, right? Um, Same with a couple other of these. You know, I got them to 5-star and haven't really used them. So it was a waste of resources on my part. And that just goes to show you guys, like, I make mistakes. I don't know everything, right? I am new to this game as well. So I am definitely learning along the way. I, again, try to do my research, try to look up each character as I get them, if they're going to last me in the long run, should I use them as food, things of that nature, right? Like, just think critically of where my account is, what I need next, and go from there, right? So right now, I pretty much have food being prepped without really a character in mind as to who I'm gonna 6-star next, right? I got my main characters 6-star, the ones that really carry my account, the ones that are on like my clan boss, which was the most important thing for me, was clan boss. I got it to where it needs to be, to where I'm getting the content done. And let me go back to that real quick, right? Super important to note that since this is a free-to-play account, right? Since this is for me to progress in the game, I am building my teams based on where I'm at, right? My clan doesn't kill Ultra Nightmare. So when I go through the teams here for you, you'll see that my Ultra Nightmare team, the stun target for it and the composition isn't an affinity, quote unquote, an affinity friendly team, right? I never have to worry about Spirit because we never get him below 50%. My clan is not there. When I get there, sure, right? But you'll see in my Nightmare composition, I have a team specifically designed for when it is Spirit, right? And if it's not Spirit, I have a different team. When it's Spirit, it usually takes me 2 keys because it's a little bit weaker, but it is, like, you know, an affinity friendly team. And when it's not Spirit, that's when I pretty much clear it in 1 key. So that's what I have to do for my account, right? I know a lot of you guys look to content creators to give you the one and done team, right? That's not what I'm really here trying to do, right? There are people much better at this than me, right? You have the Deadwood Jedi, Hell Hades, Ash, bunch of other players that are very, very talented. They know what they're talking about, and they make much better teams that you guys can copy, right? This is more about a new player taking the hand he's dealt and making it work for him, and how you guys could incorporate the same thought process into building your own team with what you got, and make sure that team like pushes as hard as it could push, right? Like how to take the 5 champions that you have and make them do as much damage as possible, right? Side note to that though, if you guys want a one and done team, here it is. I do not take any credit for this. I did not come up with this at all, right? A player, or a YouTuber, I should say, by the name of Poisoned Yeti, he came up with this. I found him, I think, on Reddit. I'll give you guys a link in the description below. All credit goes to him. I did not come up with this team, right? I am, however, trying to build this team. Right now, I have all the characters for it. It takes Emic, 2 Pain Keepers, an Eris, and a damage dealer. Any damage dealer. I just put Newt here, but he, in his video, he says any damage dealer fits this spot, right? And this is a one and done team. It works full auto, every affinity, every level, right? It's an amazing composition. Again, all credit to Poisoned Yeti. And so if you guys are looking for that one and done, here it is, right? Just go check out his page, give him credit for it. These are the speeds that you need your characters at, and it will do every single clan boss level, every affinity, full auto. No presets, nothing. You just turn off the A2s on the Painkeeper. One, here are the speeds. You see one is faster than the other. They have to be fully booked, and boom. I am currently working on, like I said, I have all the characters. One of my Painkeepers isn't booked. I need the rare books for him. My Eris isn't booked. And I also don't have the gear to put my second Painkeeper and my Heiress at the speed that they need to be. So this is not the team I'm using. Maybe I'll eventually use it down the line. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get these guys booked up and the gear for them. I did try to see if I could optimize it a little bit, but right now I could only gear out pretty much 3 of the 5 required characters. So if you guys can make this, have the characters for it, by all means, this is the build you should go for if you want the one and done. That being said, let's go back here. I'll show you guys a couple of my compositions. Here we go. So Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. If you look here, I have Venom Mage as my stun target. I will swap this Venom Mage out. I have a couple stun targets built based on the affinity, right? So a lot of times this will work. Again, Ultra Nightmare, we don't go past 50, but if I need to swap it out, I have my Cold Heart built at the same pretty much speeds and health and whatnot as Venom Mage, and I have my War Maiden built, same thing, and then my next character that I'm working on would be Stagnite, right? So the reason why I chose these characters to be my stun targets pretty much is they bring the decreased defense debuff, and that's all I need from them, right? In this team, because I don't have to worry about affinity, my stun target will always be Venom Mage. It just has synergy with the rest of the team. In my last video, I was using Oella as the healer. I had Seducer here for a block debuffs. And this, I realized, okay, well, I don't need the block debuffs. I never have to worry about Spirit, So I chose Venom Mage as a stun target, paired it up with Frozen Banshee, and Aox. And these 3 characters bring such a nice synergy together because Frozen Banshee provides the poison sensitivity debuff, and she also puts, poisons on him. I have her in a retaliation set and the mastery that lets you counterattack and put debuffs when the poison sensitivity is up. Venom Mage, whenever, she counterattacks or hits the boss with her A1, it pops those poisons, and usually the debuff bar on the clan boss is maxed out in poisons, right? Newt brings a weaken. Venom Mage brings a decreased defense that amplifies the damage of Newt's A3, his big hitter. Emic makes the team unkillable. And the reason why I went with Aox for this composition, again, brings poison, so it synergizes with the whole poison theme, right? But his passive has come in clutch so many times, especially when I didn't have masteries, right? In my previous video, I told you these characters weren't leveled. They didn't have masteries or anything. I have been working on their masteries, but Aox, his heal's good enough to keep the clan boss targeting my Venom Mage as a stun target. And his passives, every time you take the hit from the AoEs, has a chance of increasing the duration of the debuffs, right? It's nice when it hits the poisons, gives more poisons for Venom Mage to pop, but also it is absolutely clutch when it extends the decreased defense and the weaken on the boss. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'll make a separate video actually showing the team in action. But as you can see here, Ultra Nightmare, full auto. This is how much damage average that it does. If I manually play it, and the reason why I say I manually play it is because Newt won't prioritize his A1 over his A2, but since he has Giant Killer or Giant Slayer in it, his A1 has a chance to do higher damage than his A2, especially if I don't need to put weaken and I already have the counterattack buff on Newt. So being able to manual and make that decision for myself, like if on a specific turn I want to use the A1 or the A2 for more damage, especially if the boss has decreased defense on him. He has a decreased defense and a weaken. I don't need to use his A2. The AI, the autoplay is not going to register that. It's going to use his A2 if it's available, right? but the A1's going to do more damage. So as you can see here, this is when I manual it. It gets me to the threshold that I need to be 2-keying Ultra Nightmare, right? So that's the only reason why I wanted to point that out. And that's, again, based on my gear, right? You guys could have this very same comp in a little bit better gear, you know, like not all my characters have super high crit rate and crit damage and whatnot. That would help them. I did get their masteries a little bit done. Still not all level 60, you know. But as that progresses, I will no longer have to manual it. But for now, it's me playing the game, right? I have fun playing the game, so I don't mind manually playing the game and hitting the threshold that I need to actually, you know, get the damage to get the 2-key Ultra Nightmare, which frees up my other 2 keys to 1-key Nightmare and 1-key Brutal. And since my team or my clan is killing Brutal and Nightmare, it was very important to me to make sure that I get these in 1 key, because technically it's a double chest, right? So I'll get the highest chest, I'll do it in 1 key, and then when I collect the reward, it's double time because we're killing it. We're not killing this one, so if you think about it, like statistically, me getting the Nightmare, you know, 2 chests at the highest chest, it's better for my accounts, more chances of getting that Sacred Shard, right? I do have that extra chance of getting Sacred Chance, a higher chance for this kill, but it's only 1 chest, right? We're not killing it, so I'm not getting 2 chests. But I did want to make sure that this is where these 2, Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, is where I'm putting all my effort and trying to accomplish pretty much getting the top chest, right? Start rolling in those Sacred Shards for future events. That being said, regarding the new event, the new Fragment Summon, does it show him? Oh, can't see him here. I don't think I'm going for this guy. He looks pretty good. I'm personally tapped out and burnt out from the past 2 fusions. I didn't think I was going to get the Emic, and I got him. And these fusions are kind of stressful, man, just to keep up with them day to day. I usually, let me see if I could show you guys this real quick. I do, yeah, so this isn't the full one. I don't know where I have it saved right now, but I go through when these calendars are released, and I'll highlight the different events, mark it on my calendar, and pretty much notate to myself when are the days I need to be like dumping energy and playing. I'll start strategizing and coming up with a game plan for how I'm going to accomplish all these events. I haven't done that for the most recent fusion guy. He's cool, he looks good, but just he wasn't as important to me as Newt and Emic. Emic the Unkillable was like a must-have. The Ally Protect is cool, but I do have other characters that Ally Protect, so I don't know. Maybe, you know, if I get a Sacred Shard, I guess within the next couple days. Oh, that's another thing. I dumped all my shards during the 2 times event that they had. I think it was this past weekend, so I didn't really save it. Wasn't really planning on doing the next fusion. So if I miraculously pull a Sacred Shard or something, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm also behind on my dailies, so I fell a little behind on getting this Sacred Shard and this Void Shard, which is usually as a free to play, you rely heavily on that free Sacred Shard. I'm not getting the hard mode Doom Tower Sacred Shard, so I don't think this particular fusion is for me, which is, you know, something that you guys should take as well, right? Not every fusion is doable for a free play account. You know, maybe, you know, if you are doing all the content and you're playing heavily, but most people, you're gonna have to pick and choose which ones you're doing. I just happen to get lucky with 2 back-to-back, super prepared, super, you know, into it. I wouldn't say super prepared, but I was definitely focused. I had a plan. I broke it down. I min-maxed. I'm just not having it with this guy. I'll let you know if that changes in a future video. If I do decide to go ahead and go with him. I know one of the events started. I'm not sure how far I'm into it. I haven't really focused on it at all or anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much where my account is. As an overview, nothing fancy. Like I'm really not in the best position. I don't have the best gear or anything like that, right? It's all a matter of just planning, strategizing, understanding the way different characters work together. Oh yeah, let me go back to the clan boss and go ahead and show you guys some of the other builds that I have. Okay, so that was the Ultra Nightmare clan boss that I went over. That's because I don't have to worry about affinity or anything like that. We never bring him below 50%. So I could just run this team over and over again. If you want to look at the specifics, Venom Mage running at 119 speed. I have her A3 completely turned off, prioritizing her A1. Her A3, if you're going to full auto it, you kind of want to turn it off because it's the reduced health, decreased healing debuff is just a waste of a debuff on the clan boss. However, if you're manualing it, there's going to be times where this is the button to hit in that particular turn. You already have a decreased defense or it got extended by Aox. So putting up those 2 extra poisons from this because you have room on the clan boss's debuff bar is the smarter choice. But for full auto, if you don't want to worry about it, because you will generally have more poisons on the boss from Frozen Banshee and Aox. So for full auto, just turn it off. Newt, in my previous video, he was running a lot slower, and that hurt my account so much. It made me like not be able to clear the stage 20 dungeons that I was clearing. So I had to rework him at a speed that works in the different clan bosses. Again, this is for my account, right? It might not be for everyone, or you might have a better character in this spot and have another one for your dungeons or whatnot. But because he was so important to my account, I needed him fast and I needed him to work in multiple speeds. So the speed that I found that worked is 244. You should have his A3 prioritized. It's your first priority. Again, I do it manually, so sometimes, I know Venom Mage is about to have a turn and put a decreased defense. Even though his A3 is available, I will decide not to use it for a turn because he'll get his turn faster, obviously. And as soon as Venom Mage puts the decreased defense, all of a sudden, my Blessed Bash is doing almost double the damage, right? So those are the kinds of decisions I make, as in turn by turn, as a manually playing. If you want to put it full auto, set this to your main priority. Don't worry about it. Frozen Banshee, you want to turn off her A2. This will throw off your speed tune. I don't think she uses it by default, but just to be safe, turn it off. She's running at 193 speed, and pretty much it's all about her poison sensitivity, right? She puts up the poison sensitivity. She'll have it up on the boss pretty much every turn, and if you're lucky, AX will extend it, so that way you can just keep using her A1. Again, that's part of the manualing, right? Like if you have this set to first priority, and AOX extends her, her poison sensitivity debuff, there's no point in using this A3. That turn is better used putting up more poisons on the boss, right? So that's the difference between auto and manual. And as you can see, the damage isn't great, but it is the difference between two chesting it and not, right? 35 million is the magic number to 2 chest Ultra Nightmare. And for me, I personally don't mind playing it out. It takes 18 minutes. Not really. I'm kind of like, on my second screen doing turn by turn manual, right? Whereas the full auto takes about 11 minutes. So I personally do not mind playing a little bit, manual and making sure that I get that 35 million damage to 2-key it. What's next? Emic prioritizes A1. He's running at 243 speed. So previous video, he was running a lot slower. That didn't really hurt me in other aspects of the game, but I did notice in Arena, because he wasn't putting up his unkillable first, you know, I ran the risk of losing champions. So bumping up his speed was definitely helpful in arena for me. So I made sure he was fast, and this I will show you guys in a second. It will work for Nightmare and Brutal as well. Same with my Newt. He's in my Nightmare and my Brutal teams. The other characters are not. Venom Mage is a stun target. All the stun targets that I have set up for my account work in all difficulties, right? That 119 speed is kind of like, I guess, the magic number to where in an unkillable team, they're moving slow enough to where when they take the smash, the stun smash, they still have an unkillable up on them. Aox, I completely turn off his A3. I don't need it, right? In Ultra Nightmare, he needs to open with his A1, so that way in round 2, he uses his heal, and then you prioritize his heal. And he'll, like, for the most part, it's rarely failed on me. Because his heal is based on the amount of debuffs, it's like, what, 10% of... Yeah, 10% of each ally's max HP, and you need your stun target to be at least 16%, 15 to 16% max HP. So you need to make sure there's debuffs on the target that amplify this heal, right? Because you get an extra 2.5% heal per debuff. For the most part, because it's all these poisons and debuffs that I have on this team, it's never an issue, right? So like the full auto, 90% of the time is not a problem, right? And if you make sure your team, your debuffers have their accuracy high enough to where they're always landing these debuffs, every time he has to do his heal, there's pretty much a bunch of debuffs on the boss, which is healing your stun target more than enough to where it's still the target for the stun. So this is the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss full auto setup, right? Moving on to Nightmare Clan boss. I have this team set up for when the boss is not Spirit, right? So when he's not Spirit, Venom Mage is still in here, running at the same speed. Newt is still in here, running at the same speed. And then I added Rhonda, right? Rhonda is running at 221. The reason why I have her running at 221 is because when the boss becomes Spirit, Spirit Affinity boss, I swap her out for Doom Priest. And that's what makes it the speed tune work for pretty much an affinity friendly team when I put Doom Priest here. However, as I stated earlier, when I have Doom Priest in here, my Nightmare team becomes a 2-key, right? I don't do enough damage with Doom Priest to Nightmare to do it in 1 key. So I try to pretty much, you know, first thing in the morning when I wake up, I run it, and I use Rhonda so that way I get my 1 key in, because she does quite a bit of damage. Aox, again, he's in here. This won't work full auto with Aox because him running at the same speed, 173, will mean that you will have to use his A1 for the first 2 turns, and then his A2. Oh, this should be off completely. His A3. So you use his A2 pretty much on the boss's second turn, right before the smash, and then that way it's synchronized after that. There's also an issue with Emic at this speed, where if you're running it full auto, his unkillable will taunt the stun and throw your speed tune out of whack pretty much. So what I do for Nightmare is I manual the first few turns up to turn 6, and that will line up to where on turn 6, Emic's gonna get 2 turns, right? His first turn, he'll use his A1. His second turn, in turn 6, he'll use his unkillable. The following turn, he'll use his CDR, and it's from there I could full auto. I will never have to worry about his unkillable taunting the smash, and that way my stun target will continue taking the smash. In the Nightmare clan boss, since I'm not using Frozen Banshee, I could go ahead and have Venom Mage Poison. It's just that much more damage. But again, same setup, right? All my stun targets, so I showed you guys Venom Mage. I also have a War Maiden, and I have a Stag Knight that I'm currently building. He's not ready. He's like my least priority because whenever the boss is magic affinity, he would prefer to target Newt, which he will for the first few turns, right? But when they start getting to the point where they're losing their full health bar, Newt will heal up because of his A3, and he'll also have a counter attack. So the boss will prefer to target someone else. So you'll find that later on, as the fight progresses, like after turn 14, 15-ish, he'll start targeting the actual stun target. So Venom Mage works perfectly. War Maiden will work. Cold Heart will work. And Newt getting stunned throws nothing off tune, right? Like his cooldowns don't matter. It's just like a little bit less damage. So if you really want to be safe, put a weak affinity stun target in this position. I just don't have my Stag Knight ready. He's almost there, not quite, but essentially 119 speed. And all my stun targets bring a decreased defense because that's like the only thing I'm missing essentially from the group, and it enhances the group's damage. Brutal. I don't really need, I guess, like a setup. It just happens to work with the same characters that I have set up. Again, depending on stun target, affinity, or whatnot. I'll choose War Maiden. I'll choose Venom Mage, and then I also have Cold Heart and Stag Knight, right? Same exact speed. Oh, 121. You have a speed window, right? So my War Maiden's at 121. 119 to 121 seems to be the acceptable threshold for these positions. And then as you can see here, Doom Priest, again, just to make it affinity friendly. Since she's running at the same speed as my Rhonda, if the boss is Void, Force, or Magic, I could throw Rhonda into this position and the tune works. Again, got to manual the first few turns. This is not like the one and done full auto comp. You want that, please reference the Poisoned Yeti video because it will do exactly just that. Like you don't have to worry about it. You make this one team if it's everything. But yeah, so pretty much Doom Priest is interchangeable with Rhonda for Nightmare and Brutal, depending on the affinity I'm facing and the damage I need. With Doom Priest in here, I still do the 21 million damage for top chest. Like Brutal is a lot easier. I don't even have to have an unkillable team. I could put my strongest DPS in here and they will hit the 21 million. Even if they don't last 50 turns, they'll probably get it within like, 15, 20 turns. Just because, Brutal's a lot weaker and my characters are getting to the point where they're much stronger. And then I also have this kind of CDR team that I was working on for Nightmare Clan Boss. And it's meant to be with Cold Heart in this position. So this comp pretty much focuses on the boss or enemy max HP damage from Cold Heart and from Newt, right? Essentially this team has two CDRs, right? One from Painkeeper, one from Emic. So you'll have like a 2-turn reduction essentially on both Cold Heart's Heartseeker and Newt's Blessed Bash. Works out pretty nice. It does the same thing as my other Nightmare Clan boss. As you can see, didn't really swap any of the speeds or whatnot. Painkeeper pretty much takes Aox's spot. His heal is just as good, just as efficient as Aox's heal, running at the same speed as Aox. His heal goes in the same position as heal. The only difference is his combat tactic, his CDR, essentially, is reducing the cooldown for the Blessed Bash and the Heartseeker on my 2 damage dealer. It works out nicely. Only thing, this team doesn't have a decreased defense. I could substitute Doom Priest, for someone who brings decreased defense. If I don't have to worry about affinity, Doom Priest makes it affinity friendly. And as you can see, Doom Priest, same exact speed, is working on both Nightmare and Brutal, right? go ahead and close that out. So yeah, that's pretty much my clan boss roster and the different characters that I swap in and out for the different affinities and the different levels, right? It's not what I guess, viewers want to see. They want to see that like magic team, which it's not in my hands to do, right? This is a free to play account using the resources and the champions that I got. Did I get lucky with a couple champions? Absolutely. Um, Owella I was super happy about getting her, and as you could see, I pulled her out. The original composition that I had made a previous video about had Owella in it. When I built Owella, when I started working on her and I ascended her, her passive heal was throwing off the stun target. So she broke the tune, right? And I also don't have her booked. I would eventually like to get her booked, so that way I could use her in other areas of the game. And that was one of the people that saw my video. He left the feedback and said, hey, you might want to swap Oello out and use her for different areas of the game, free up your legendary. And I'm open to criticism. He was absolutely right. So took her off the team, found the replacement between Aox and Painkeeper, right? Their heal is good enough to keep the stun target at a high enough health threshold to where they continue being selected as the stun target. And that's my roster, right? That's the players that I swap in and out for the different affinities and the different clan boss levels, depending on what I need. I will make a follow-up video, hopefully within the next couple days, actually showing you the teams playing, speed it out with some music, whatnot, show you back to back. Like I said, I haven't really been playing the past few days, haven't used my keys, so I do want to go ahead and get to that after this and get a little bit of what I need done. For now, hope you guys are okay with the screenshot of this being done, and then I'll go ahead and record a video and post that with these different compositions in the different levels to show you exactly how it plays. I will set it up to where you guys see the full auto version and then the manual version, and then that way you could see, I guess, my thought process turn by turn. I'll go ahead and do commentary as I play it out. Other than that, I think that's all I wanted to cover. Oh, I'm not even in right now. Yeah, that's all I wanted to cover for this video regarding, I guess, my account, where I'm at, how I built the teams, the thought process behind, min-maxing damage, etc., etc. As I've stated before, guys, I am completely open to criticism. By all means, if there's something you don't like about the video or something you want to know about, let me know in the comments, right? I'm happy to engage in any healthy, conversation. Difference of opinion is great. I don't mind, give and taking with the people who want to watch these videos, the people who want to see better content. Tell me what you guys want to see. Tell me, hey, I think you could have done this better. I'm all ears. Absolutely. One thing I don't like though is toxicity, right? There is a way to disagree with people without being toxic, right? We're all entitled to our different opinions. If you don't think I'm doing something right and you tell me, I have no problem with that. I have pretty thick skin. You can tell me, hey, I think you're wrong at this point, and I'll listen to what you have to say. But if you're just going to be belligerent and toxic, I will most likely just completely ignore you. That being said, I did want to bring up a word from my sponsor, my first sponsor for my channel. And that sponsor is myself. I set up a Discord channel and we'll be offering paid services. This is just to pretty much put it all back into the channel. Everything that I generate from this service, I will be putting back into this channel, upgrading, obviously getting a webcam, being able to talk to you guys. I am not the best with video editing and software in general, pretty illiterate when it comes to computers, but I am trying to dedicate a portion of each day to just teach myself, wake up in the morning, give myself like an hour class on video editing and things of that nature to help provide better content. So the more successful I am in generating, I guess, revenue to put back into my channel, um, the better the content will essentially be. So as you can see here, guys, I have a Discord made, still working. You can find the full list of services that I'm offering here. Feel free to join the channel, the Discord channel. You by no means have to pay for anything. It's completely free. You could come here and hang out with me. I do plan on posting a schedule here shortly. I do want to commit to releasing one video a week, at least for now. As things pick up, I'll put more time. If I could shift to where this is my full-time job, that's great. I will be putting the 40 to 50 hours a week creating these video for you guys and covering the content that you want to cover. As stated, I am still open to doing World of Warcraft videos. A little bit about that. I'm a huge World of Warcraft nerd. I've been playing it since vanilla. Pretty hardcore. I recently took a break. I'm kind of like a cutting edge player, top tier player, and not just in raiding or Mythic Plus and all aspect of the games. I have, I have the Longboy, kind of a goblin when it comes to making gold. I have a account set up to where it's completely free. I haven't paid for World of Warcraft in over 10 years, and I pretty much buy everything off the shop using Blizzard balance from creating an account that's self-sufficient and completely free to play, essentially. So if you guys are still interested in that, let me know in the comments below. I will start, I guess, covering World of Warcraft if there is interest in it. If not, I'm super happy with the interest generated in these Raid Shadow Legends video. It is a motivation for me to see you guys liking and reacting to my videos. I'm happy to be, in the comments with you guys, giving and taking, discussing different things. So by all means, if you want to continue watching this channel grow, it doesn't have to be any monetary value, right? Like a simple like, share, subscribe, it goes a long way. It keeps me motivated seeing, my video trending on YouTube, seeing, the difference from my first video to my second video, the difference in reactions and viewership. It's definitely a big motivator. And if you want to help me a little more, I am offering these services as paid services. You can find them right here in my Discord. I will have a link for that in the description. And again, 100% of the revenue is going into making this channel better, making the content that I provide better. I want to make you guys the content that you want to see, the entertaining, fun, gaming, nerdy shit that I absolutely love, right? That being said, if you want to support the channel and don't know what else to do, a simple like, comment in the description, that does go a long way. It doesn't have to be money. You don't need to pay, right? Like, just, hey, thanks for the video. That to me is more than enough. If you don't know what else to say, just say comment in the comments and I will salute you for that as well. And I think that's about it for today, guys. I, again, was super excited about this video. Really looking forward to watching the progress of this channel grow and the community, too. I have picked up a few subscribers, modest amount. My viewership has increased by quite a bit, in my opinion. And that makes me happy. I'm really excited to get to know you guys, talk to you guys more, keep making this stuff for you. But that being said, hope everyone has a good one. I will look forward to the next video. Thanks, everyone.